one. This is the one that I have no choice on. So I would just go ahead and start with that one. And I go, what do I multiply together to get 3? 1 and 3. Then I would move to this one, because this one I do have a choice on. I can do 4 and 1, and then when I do outside, I'm going to go, 12x, 1x, that ain't happening. Okay, I can't add that together and get 7. So then probably what I would do is I would switch the order here, and I would put the 4 there and the 1 there. So then I've got 3x and 4x, which when I add together is going to give me 7x, so both of those would have to be positive. Then I go back, 1 times 3 gives me a positive 3. Yes, no, maybe?
I had it 4x plus 3 times x plus 1.
That's fine. You just have those, I mean, it doesn't matter which
Yeah, I
parenthesis
just
comes
had them
first.
switched.
Yeah, that doesn't matter. Okay, what about this? What am I going to do?
Take out the term they have in common.
Okay, very first thing I always do, look to see if they have anything in common. Okay, that's going to be something that you're going to get in a row doing these and you're going to forget to do. Because there might be 10 in a row that they don't have anything in common. So on the 11th one, you don't look. And then you run into problems. Okay, so what do they have in common?
2x.
2x. Okay, make sure you look at the number too. So I have 2x, which I put on the outside. Then what I have left here is b squared minus 25. Am I done? No, what do I still have?
Square.
I have the difference of squares. Okay, so I have 2x, and then this is the square root of that. And it doesn't matter whether you put the plus first or the minus first, but one of them's going to be plus, one of them's going to be minus. Square root of that is 5. So if this one you use as plus, this one you have to do as minus. Okay? All right, what about, now this is where we run into some problems here. Okay? This is so very hard to remember because you don't hit it very often. This is a sum of cubes. Okay, now again, the sum of cubes has a layout that you always do. What is the cube root of this first term? Right? The cube root of x cubed is just x. What is the cube root of 64? Y'all looking like you're in pain.
4.
It's 4. It is 4. Okay, 4 times 4 is 16, and 16 times 4 is 64. Okay, so what I do, if I have a plus between them, then I just add the cube roots together, and then I multiply the square of that minus these two things multiply together, and then I square that every single time. Okay, the layout looks like this. A cubed plus b cubed always equals a plus b times a squared minus a times b plus b squared. Understanding that a is the cube root of that and b is the cube root of that. Okay? Let's do another one of those, because it's weird. Okay, it's weird how it works. Here's another one. It's the square, the cube here, and that's the sum of cubes. Okay, the difference of cubes is different. All right, I check to see if I've got a cube on it. And there's two terms. I'm going to check to see if it's a sum of cubes. Okay, what is the cube root of x cubed? X. Okay, I'm going to just put it above it. What is the cube root of 125?
5.
It's 5, okay? All right, so there's my A and my B, if you will. So I've got x plus, as I put a 3, x plus 5 in the parentheses. That's like my A plus B. Then I'm going to square that, x squared. I'm going to put a minus there, and I multiply those two things together. and then I add the square of that. Okay? Now, what if it was a difference of cubes? The only thing that changes is that becomes a minus and that becomes a plus. Okay? So whatever you have here is what's going to go here. Okay? And then the opposite is going to go in that first. This is always going to be plus at the end. That's the pattern. Okay? Look at this one. What am I going to do there? Any idea? Guys, that factors into because I can take the square root of both of those. The square root of a to the 6 is a to the 3rd. Because, what's that equal to? A to the 6th. Okay,
Isn't
so,
that zero, though?
do what?
In your thing, you wrote a 0.
Oh, wait a minute, yeah, this should be a B right here. Sorry, you're right. Okay, now can I factor those more? Oh, shoot, yeah, this is the sum of cubes, and that's the difference of cubes. So this becomes way complicated in a hurry. So this is a plus b times a squared minus ab plus b squared. That's that one. This one is a minus b times a squared plus ab minus b squared. Oops, and not plus b squared. Okay? Does that make sense? Anything else I can do? No? Okay, that's it. That's as far as I can go. All right, what about this one? What am I gonna do? Is that not difference of squares? Can I take the square root of n to the 4th? What is the square root of n to the 4th?
Into the second.
N to the 2nd. What's the square root of 81?
9.
9. Okay. So I can write it in n squared minus 9, or you can put plus 9 first, it doesn't matter. N squared plus 9. Am I done? What else can I do? I agree you're not done. Okay, so don't let me throw you off here.
Cube.
That's a difference of squares.
And
Okay, can I take the square root of n squared? What is it?
And
Can I take the square root of 9?
3.
3. So I can write this as n minus 3 times n plus 3 times n squared plus 9. How come I can't do anything else to that?
Because it's added.
Because it's added. It's not a difference, it's a sum of squares. There is no such thing as a sum of squares that you can factor. Okay? All right, so you got to be aware of all of this. Okay? All right, I am going to stop right there. Now, we didn't quite finish, but there's one thing that I want to show you after you've worked on the homework on this. You got about 15 minutes to work on homework. Be very, very aware of factoring out first, okay? Now, they're going to be all mixed up here. So you've got to factor to the best of your ability. There is actually a chart on page 274 that will remind you of the different ways you can factor. So on page 279, I want you to do 18 through 50 even, okay? Now, you've got a couple days to do this because you're going to watch the election tonight, okay? But I would encourage you to do it before the election tonight, okay? All right.